Hello friends, welcome to Network Inquiries. This is your host Amit, and today we will discuss about our lesson 2. And let's know what is that. Before that, first see what we will know with this video today, right? What we will gain from this video today. First of all, we will know about computer network evolution, how computer network grow from years to in years from level to level, right? After that, we will know about the components of networking and types of networking, modes of communications and types of communications. Alright, so let's start. First of all, computer network evolution, right? So, how the computer or the generations of computer, how the networking with the help of computer grow day by day. Let's discuss that. But first of all, at the very early stages of networking, computer network was like mainframe or mini computer, or we can call it thin client also. So what happened in mainframe? There was only a single CPU, like a single central processing unit, in a room of the company or the organization, from where all the wires are going to the end user, where only a single keyboard, mouse and a monitor will be there, so all of them can access the computers or they can do their work, and all the processor and the RAM, everything is at the single mainframe CPU or the mainframe computer. So it is a very huge load on the mainframe. If the mainframe failed, the network will be down, right? After that, the generation came with personal computers. As we all know that what are personal computers, every computer has their own CPU, everything different, right? They are communicating with the help of transmission media through the wires. After that, client and server. So client and server, if I don't think everybody will know what is client and server. If you don't know, let me tell you what is client and server. There will be a single server, right? But all the data will be stored, right? All the information will be stored at this server, and there will be personal computers everywhere. They have their different CPU, but for the service or application services, right? So they have to ask the server to provide that services. So client will be like asking for the services, and server will be like providing the services. As you can see in the diagram, there is a one server and all the CPUs were asking, but they are not using like in mainframe. They are not asking for the resources also. They have their personal resources in their CPU, but they are asking for the services. After that, web-based enterprise applications. So what is web-based enterprise applications? Let's discuss. There is an internet. It is connected with the enterprise server, as you can see in the diagram, and the enterprise server will give the services, the information to the internal servers of the enterprise. Like there are different offices or different floor of an organization with different server. Now the persons or the end users there, they are the client, and when they will ask for the services, the server will provide them. If it don't have that information, it will ask to the enterprise server, or if the enterprise server don't have that information, it will ask to the internet. This is how a web-based enterprise application works. After that, let's discuss the final and the last, which are using by nowadays, that is cloud computing on mobile devices. Cloud computing is nothing but like in the web-based application, everything is wireless. The internet, or there is a server, suppose there is a server in America or a server in any country all over the world, you are sitting thousands of miles from that server, but with the help of internet, in a matter of click, you can communicate with that server and you can get the services over the cloud. This is nowadays doing. This is how nowadays we are working, right? You are take example of WhatsApp, right? You are asking services from WhatsApp server over the cloud. Like you can use the Google Drive and Google file servers, right? So they are what? They are cloud services. There are lots of services you can count on. Like there are lots of paid services over the cloud. Like you are using Microsoft Word. There is a Word that you can kind of a Word software that you can pay month to month, and you can get the access over the internet, and from wherever you want you can access that file, or you can do your work wherever you want. This is how cloud computing works. After that, let's move over our next section or the next bit, that is components of networking. So what is components of networking? Actually there are three components: physical components, logical components, and the final, that is applications or the softwares. So first discuss about physical components. As you can see, computer system, network interface card, that are NICs, and cables and transmission media. So let's understand what a computer system. It is just the system you are using, like the devices or the hardware devices, like your laptop, your PC, your server, physical components, nothing else, right? After that, you can see the LAN NIC, right? Network interface card. Do you know you connect the RJ45 connector in your laptops or your PC, or that LAN port, right? So that's the network interface card, from where you can take the access from the network. And the last, cables or transmission media. So what do you mean by transmission media? Like the LAN cable you are using, that is a transmission media through which one hardware can communicate with another hardware, not wireless. You can also count wireless as a transmission media, right? Not an issue. After that, logical components, like there is a sender and a receiver. Like to establish a communication with the networking, what you need? A sender and a receiver. That's how it works, right? Or a sender, many receiver, or many sender, single receiver, it doesn't matter. Sender and the receivers are required. After that, data, what you will send, you will send to do communication, you will send data, right? That's the one of the logical components. And after that, protocols, like there are lots of protocol or application, not application, the protocols mean the set of rules through which you will communicate. We will discuss in our later on videos what are the protocols. As I have already told you, I will tell you what are protocols and how the protocols are logical components, and how we will communicate with the help of protocols. Now, our last and the least, applications and software. As you all know, there is the hardware component, the computer system, but how you will communicate with the hardware, you need an application, right? With the help of application, you can give command to the hardware to do the task. This is how it works, like web browsers, Outlook, or mail services, and there are lots and many more of the applications like that. And our next topic is types of network, right? So there are four types of network basically. First, on the basis of host role, which is peer-to-peer and client server. Second is on the basis of geography and size, that is LAN and WAN, local area network and wide area network. Third is on the basis of participation, that is private and public network. And last, on the basis of sharing information, that is intranet, extranet and internet. So let's discuss the first one, that is on the basis of host role. Now, what is peer-to-peer and client server? Right, peer-to-peer is nothing, like there are systems, there are three devices, they are connected to each other, and all of them are connected to all of them. That is peer-to-peer, one end to another end, right? And client server is what? There is lots of client and a server, they are requesting for the service, and the server is providing the service, right? So let's see what is peer-to-peer furthermore. All the devices can act as a server as well as a client. You can see in this, all the devices, there is no superiority. If someone is requesting, he is a client, and the other one is providing a service, he is a server. Everyone can act as a client and server, but in client and server, the client can act as a client only and the server will act as a server only. No one can act both at the same time, right? After that, every device can request a service and provide a service. As I already told you, everyone can provide a service and request a service, but in client, only client can request the service and server will provide the service. That's how client server works, right? After that, everyone should be connected to everyone. As I've already told you, in peer-to-peer, everyone is connected to everyone, right? So to make, like, for 3 to 4 systems, right, 3 to 4 devices, it is not a hard task to connect everyone to everyone. But suppose there is an organization and there are hundreds and thousands of systems, so to connect you thousands of them to each other, right, it will be a very heck of a job, my friend, right? So it is a very heck of a job. You have to bring millions of wires to connect to each other. That will be a headache for an administrator or the person who will organize that building or establish that communication between the system, right? But in client server, everyone will connect with only with the server, right? So that will the connection establishment will be very easy there, right? And peer-to-peer, the disadvantage is that the like connection is very difficult. That is one disadvantage. The second is that the data is not centralized. Suppose every peer has its own data. If someone is requesting, he can provide the data. That is good. But what is the but? If the device or any device get damaged or destroyed, the data will be lost. That is the one of the biggest disadvantage of peer-to-peer communication. But in client server, data is centralized in the server. Everyone can request to the server and server will provide the services. But in the server also data can be lost, but there are redundant servers we fix in an organization. Everyone has the same data. If one server fails, another will give you the data. So this is very good, right? After that, peer-to-peer is not used in real-time scenario, but client server is what we use in real-time scenario, and cloud computing is one of them, right? One kind of a client server. Now, on the basis of geography and size, first of all, let's see what are the types: local area network LAN and wide area network WAN. I think you have heard a lots of other variety of area network, right? Like PAN, private area network, MAN, metropolitan area network, CAN, campus area network. There are bunch of them, right? But I want to clear you that in networking there are only two kind of area networks, that is local area network and wide area network. All others are for our easy understanding, and everything in networking based on LAN and WAN only, right? So let's understand what is a LAN and a WAN. So LAN is used to define a very small network, like there are a bunch of devices connected and they are communicating with each other. That is a LAN, right? But WAN is a very large network where we are combining two or more LANs and we can say that a dozen of LANs or a millions or thousands of LAN together to create a WAN, right? LAN has a foundation, right? It cannot be expand more than a kilometer, but WAN has no foundation. It can be extend from a kilometer, expand from a kilometer to cities, to between states, between countries, even between planets, right? We cannot know. WAN has no foundation. Wherever up to you can see, it is WAN, right? After that, LAN devices will only be able to share data in LAN domain, right? They cannot cross the LAN domain. But in WAN, devices can share data to devices in different LAN domains, right? If you want to communicate from one LAN to another LAN, what you have to do? You can do with the help of WAN. WAN can help you communicate between two different LAN domains. Now, our next one is on the basis of participation. There are two types of participation: public network and private network on the basis of participation. Now understand what is public. Let's take a simple example. Right? I think you can imagine that what I am going to tell you with the help of this example. Let's suppose take an example of an organization where there is some private applications are running, and they don't want that the information of that application or the services can cross the organization. They want that private. No other one in the public can know what is happening, right? As usually happens in an organization, every organization, right? That is a private network. But suppose you are communicating between different organization, or the public can see the information, that we can consider as a public network, where everyone has the right to see that information. But in private network, only the authorized person can see that information. That is a private network. It is as simple as that. I think you have understood that, right? Now our next topic is on the basis of sharing information. There are three types: intranet, extranet and internet. So let's understand what is intranet. Intranet is just a bunch of LANs, right? There are 2-3 LANs of an organization, different offices in different location of a city, right? And they want to communicate with each other, right? They want to share information with each other, but they don't want that it get transmitted to the public, right? So they are using what? They are using their own private media, transmission media, their own. They are providing a lots of money to service provider to give them a private channel or a private media in which no other person or organization can access, right? With the help of private media, they are communicating with each other through different land to different land. That is what intranet. But what is extranet? Suppose there are a bunch of LANs, same as intranet. They want to communicate their different office in a same city. They want to communicate with each other, but they are not using their own private media. Right? What they are using? They are using public transmission media. Like there are service provider. He is providing services to. It is providing service to lots of other organizations, but it is they are taking the services of that service provider. But how they will secure their communication so that no other can trace the data they are sending to each other? With the help of a virtual private network, VPN. They are creating a private network within a public network or public transmission media. Right? This is how the extranet works. And the last, internet, as I already told you in my previous video, internet is what? It is a hardware part. It is the collection of all the networks, small networks all over the world, and they combine to each other to create internet. Alright, it has no foundation. After that, our next topic is modes of communication. So what is modes of communication? There are three modes of communication: simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Right? So let's understand what is simplex. Simplex is what? One-way communication from a sender to receiver. Receiver cannot reply back. What do you understand by that? Suppose I am doing a simplex communication with you. Right? What that mean? I am a teacher, I am telling you and you are only listening. You cannot reply me back with the help of this video. This is a simplex mode of communication. Right? As example, you can say TV, radio, D2H. In TV you are getting the data but you cannot reply back. Same as radio, you are getting the information but you cannot reply back on that radio. Right? Like D2H, all the examples where you can get the information, the sender is communicating with you but you cannot communicate with the sender. That is a simplex, as it is, as simple as that. Now what is half duplex? Two-way communication between hosts. One can send and other can receive the data, and you can say that two-way communication by means that I am sending the data, you will receive at that time, and when I am finished, then you can send the information and I will receive. Both cannot send or receive the data at the same time. One have to wait while one is transmitting, other will only receive. When the other will sending, the other end will have to only receive. They cannot transmit at the same time. That is half duplex. One at a time, one at a particular time interval, one at a time. Right? Both of them cannot send or receive simultaneously at the same time. You can take the example of walkie-talkie. Like in walkie-talkie, you know what happens. One says, another listens, and again another says, another can listen only. Right? Defense wireless, as simple as that. After that, full duplex. What do you mean of full duplex? Two-way communication between hosts. Both of them can communicate at the same time. Right? No one have to wait. Both of them can send and receive at the same time. You don't have to wait for another end to say, okay, I am done. Now you say. You can say at the same time, like mobile phone, telephone. Right? And now you have understood, I think, what is simplex, half duplex and full duplex. If you have any doubt, you can leave comments in the comment section. I will definitely clear that. Now the next topic is types of communication. Now never ever confuse between modes and types of communication. Always remember this. Right? What is types and what is mode. Right? Type is unicast, like one-to-one host communication. Unicast is what? One-to-one. Only one is talking to, like you are talking to your friend, not a bunch of friends. Like for bunch of friends, you will use a multicast communication where one is talking to many. Right? Like one-to-one is like I am teaching you. One-to-one. If you are 3 or more friends sitting together watching this video, then it will be a multicast. One-to-many. Right? Now the last is broadcast. It is also one-to-many. But there is a major difference between multicast and broadcast. Multicast is what? I am like, take an example of a class. right? Suppose a teacher is teaching to a bunch of students, they are intended to listen to the lecture, right? They are intended, like, but suppose someone is standing outside and he is also listening to that. He is not intended, right? He is unintended, but he is also listening to that. It means that whether you want or not, you will get the what you can say, that you can get that information, like in a political speeches. There are public going on in the road and they are speaking. Few are who want to listen, few who don't want to listen, but intentionally or unintentionally they are listening to that. That is broadcast. But in multicast, only the intended group or intended public will only listen to that information. That is what unicast, multicast and broadcast. And this is all for this video today. Thank you, my friends, for listening. And if you have any queries, please do comment in the below section. And please do like, subscribe and share this video if you like with your friends and family who wanted or who are interested in networking. And if you have any query, you can definitely leave the comments. Thank you very much.